Good evening, everyone. Time for 48 Weather Extra. It is 9:30, a little after. We start this about 2 minutes or so before. Pretty quiet night out there. Beautiful moon. Saw that on the way back in from dinner. The strawberry moon tonight. It's got a little bit more of an orange tint to it tonight because of the wildfire smoke. We've been watching that coming from the north. And good evening, Donna. I see your comment here on our page. Let's see what's going on YouTube. Not as active on YouTube tonight. Again, we have a YouTube channel. Sometimes it's easier to just sit and watch on your TV, watch on YouTube. But we're going to get right to it. We're going to talk about what's going on with the weather. Shoals right now pretty quiet. You know, we've got a real nice shine there, a little glow. I can't quite get a good image of the moon directly on this camera. And our cameras are just not really good at night. So again, if that's any goal I'd have, of course I've had that goal for 10 years, is try to get better viewing at night with these cameras, and they're just not very good. But you can see the moon, the shine of the moon on the lake there, on Wilson Lake. So overall, a quiet night tonight, beautiful night, be on the patio. I was relaxing outside tonight as well. Temperatures are falling into the upper 60s. We've got low humidity, may have some patchy fog overnight tonight. And we've got the showers and storms south of us. They kind of faded away today. They're along this boundary which is stalled south of us near Montgomery. And that's the boundary that's coming back Thursday. And there's a little bit of energy coming in from the west. I will tell you, as we go through Thursday and eventually Friday, Saturday, Sunday, this pattern is going to be more like summer. And the thunderstorms could be strong, but what happens is the storms will develop in place with the heating of the day, usually between noon and 3 o'clock, and then eventually they kind of cycle through. We get the updrafts and the downdrafts in there, and then you get these rain-cooled boundaries that trigger new storms. So not necessarily a severe weather setup, but you can always get these damaging downburst winds with these kind of storms when they set up in the summertime. So. And Tegan says weather extras are his favorite thing to watch. It's almost like a weather blog. I just don't have a whole lot of content where there's not much going on. But yes, Adam's mentioned the strawberry moon. Very awesome tonight. Here's your forecast for tomorrow, halfway through the work week. We're talking about 60s in the morning, 83 degrees at 11 in the morning, and then it's going to be a hot day, around 90 degrees for the high. No storms. So this will be the last day for quite some time that we're saying no thunderstorms. We don't really have any fronts moving through, but over the next 3 days, 88 Wednesday, and then we get these air mass thunderstorms Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Coming up after this minute break, we are going to be talking more about that weekend forecast. Of course, Thursday, Friday, we're going to go hour by hour through that, and your 10-day forecast coming up. All right, thank you for sitting through that minute with us. Again, not a whole lot going on tonight. Weather's pretty quiet, but overall, a few of you sharing some of your comments, and again, I can only get from one page on here, so if you're on my Brad Travis WFF page, those are the ones I'm able to monitor here. A lot of you talking about the strawberry moon. Patricia says hello, and Rubel says let's get the party started. Again, fairly quiet. We'll have more to talk about tomorrow night with the storms coming in on Thursday, and we'll talk about that coming up here in just a second. So let's get into your forecast as far as the rain on the roof goes. It's going up every day. The coverage, the overall coverage of showers and storms will go up day by day. The intensity may go up a little bit too. But overall, no big threat for severe weather. These are going to be big summertime thunderstorms coming our way. Lots of humidity, really tall. 7 o'clock Thursday morning. Again, nothing's going on tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a really quiet Chamber of Commerce weather day. A little smoke and haze out there, but overall, not too bad. As we get towards the lunch hour on Thursday, again, as I was describing earlier, some of you may be just joining, what we're going to see are air mass thunderstorms. These develop with the heating of the day, the peak heating. Once we get our convective temperatures, basically what it is, once you reach that temperature where you get these thunderstorms to develop, they start developing. They're isolated, and the challenge here is trying to portray what's going to happen with the model guidance. The best thing to do here is not to say, like you look at this map here, you're like, oh, it's going to rain in Phil Campbell, and it's going to rain in Arab at 3 o'clock. It's not necessarily the case. This gives us a setup of the proximity of these thunderstorms. So they're very widely scattered here and fairly isolated in nature. And that's why we've got basically a 30% chance of rain. Overall, not everyone's going to get rain Thursday. Not everyone's going to get rain Friday either. Again, these storms fire up, then they just collapse, and that rain-cool boundary spreads out, and that's what leads to new thunderstorms since there's no front in the area, and there's not going to be a disturbance moving through every day. Friday morning, we kind of reset here. It's going to be muggy to start the day. That humidity's back. And then as we get into the afternoon, notice that, just like clockwork, by noon, these isolated thunderstorms are going to be popping up. Donna wants to know what I think about Thursday at 4 p.m. in Phil Campbell. For that exact reason, I can't tell you specifically. There's a chance of rain anywhere, but just don't cancel your plans. Again, I stress that. Do not cancel your plans. There's a lot going on. As we get into the summer months, a lot more activities going on. The chance of rain will continue each day. It's just going to play itself out. We'll start with mugginess. We'll have maybe an hour or two of thunderstorm activity in the afternoon, and then it fades away. 88 tomorrow with plenty of sunshine, some haze from the smoke, the wildfire smoke in Canada coming down. Overall outlook on this summer, typically when we don't get rain, when it's dry, it gets hotter. We have a stretch of 100-degree weather. Usually that happens as we get into the months of August and September because those are our drier months. We've had so much rain. I really think what's going to happen this summer, we're going to probably have a really brutal heat index this summer because the soil moisture is really high. We have daily rain chances you see here on the 10-day forecast. We've had a lot of rain. In previous years, we've had a lot of our rain in February and March. This year, we had a lot of rain in May, and we continue to see a very wet June. Now, having said that, this can just shut off. That's why our weather is kind of wild that way. But I think it's going to be a really hot, muggy summer, and it's going to wear our air conditioning units out. You get these, the air conditioning units we have down here, most of them, they're not really good with the extremely high humidity and high temperatures. They tend to overwork, but we're just going to have to deal with it. I think it's going to be a fairly active hurricane season, and we've been talking about that for a while. But again, active hurricane season, I don't see anything really, really early, but once it gets going, it'll be pretty active. We'll have to watch it closely. But there's your 10-day forecast. We've got a chance of rain beyond tomorrow every day. And again, just take it day by day. We're entering the season, the part of year where we can't really give you that hour-by-hour confidence with fronts moving in because we'll see fewer and fewer cold fronts. And usually as we get late June, we don't see any cold fronts. I know I've seen a few where we'd have a cold front coming in around the 4th of July. And I've seen some 4th of Julys that have been really nice. But that's about, usually beyond the 4th of July, we don't get a cold front until October. What about Saturday? We have a church event. Saturday, each day, chance of showers and storms. You're just going to have to get up, look at the radar during the afternoon and figure out what's going on. I don't think we're going to see these morning thunderstorms. I don't think we're going to see a lot of overnight thunderstorms. For the most part, it'll be driven with the heating of the day as we go through it. Appreciate you guys tuning in. I got to get ready for our 10 o'clock newscast. Margot Gray's busy working on some of the stories we're working on. And Carl Prather talking sports. Again, kind of quiet sports season. Not a lot of our teams involved in I don't think any of them are in the World Series, the College World Series, but a Looking forward to the fall football season already. It'll be here before you know it. You guys take care. Appreciate you tuning in.
Quick night.
Well, I got at least 10 minutes out.